To maintain your earth to becoming more effective, you need to do this, depending on your soil.
When it comes to electrical works for your house and professional plumbing you can trust, there's only one name to remember: GH Electrical Engineer. We do house wiring, conduit and trunking, socket switches, lighting, fault fixing and maintenance. Plumbing works for homes and buildings. Call 054-290-2016. I repeat, 054-290-2016. GH Electrical Engineer. Clean work, safe power, strong plumbing.
Welcome back once again to GH Electrical Engineer. I trust you're all living well, wherever you find yourself, at the four corners of the planet. I know you're making gradual plans to make your dream to becoming reality in lovely continent called Africa, especially Ghana as well. Guys, we are back again to give you another side brief update in GH Electrical Engineer. Today, we are in somewhere in Abri, in between Abri and in Sawam Road. There's an estate called Atakrom Estate. They basically have the phase 1 and then they have the phase 2. So basically, we are located at the phase 2. That is where you can find this lovely, lovely structure. All right. So this project, we are taking off electrical wiring, which we have it apartment. We got one apartment here and another apartment. That is a 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment each. And then you can see the ground floor, we have a 2-bedroom apartment and another 2-bedroom apartment. The middle floor, we also have a 2-bedroom apartment and a 2-bedroom apartment. And then the last floor is purposely for the personal use for my client. This estate is going off grade because we don't have a grade running through this estate. So my client's idea to go off grade. And mind you, all the apartments have been wired 110 and 220. And imagine, if you are getting this apartment, you're going to literally enjoy it like you're living on your personal home, because everything that you need on your personal home, we have it for you in this apartment. Just 2-bedroom apartment. You have your independent kitchen, you have your guest room, you have a 2-bedroom. Each 2-bedroom have their own dedicated bathroom. That is great. And don't forget, we got 110 and 220 for you. Let me tell you something that you should know when you're in the process of the building or you are making plans to build. Your first impression should be your last impression. Why am I saying that? The first guy going to your site to start on your electrical work can save you 15% to 30% of your cable cost. Let me say this again. The first guy who is coming to take off your electrical work, especially the phase 1, which is the chiseling work before the plastering, can save you at least 10% to the 30% of your cable cost. What people doesn't know is that when you're about to build, just find a land surveyor to do every single thing that possible may happen on your building, especially the electrical, the plumbing, the windows, the doors, and everything. Just know every single cost on that building for you to prepare. Financially, you need to know this. When you know this, you will know every single stage how much is it going to cost you That is a lot of mistake. I know that in Ghana here, this is a common mistake everybody does. They will build, but they don't know. They don't know how much it's going to cost them. They will have a big window, but they don't know how much the window is going to cost them. Yeah. So you take this, you will make sure that if you're about to build, when your architect is done with your plan, give it to the land surveyor. I'm standard to be corrected as well. I didn't know if they sign the site surveyor or whoever. Yeah. They will prepare a budget for everything on the building, whether it's a fence wall, whether it's electrical, whether it's the plumbing, whether it's the air conditions, everything. They're going to prepare it and then they give it to you. Guys, I want us to go. We are using the generator here for all our electrical work. Let's go a little bit, or that is another next day for us to talk about that. So we have the block A, and then the block B is somewhere over there. So let's go and check it out. We are running out of time a little bit, so we are here to educate. So we will get time to talk about that in the next video. So we are in the block A. That is another apartment. Like I told you, we are going off grade in this property. Yeah. As you can see, the height, the floor and the ceiling height, they are very close. We don't have a so much ceiling height. So what we did to cut the floor, and then we place the pipe in. Okay, let's educate ourselves right here. To cut the floor and place the pipe in on the ground floor, I don't have an issue with that. But to cut the floor on the first floor of your property, you need to consult your structure engineer. Let me repeat myself again. To cut the floor on your first floor of your property, you don't have a problem. It's up to you and your electrician to deal with your labor cost. Yeah, because cutting the floor, it comes with the extra cost for cutting the floor. But to cut the floor on your first floor of your property, on your second floor of your property, on your third floor of your property, whichever floor you may have, to cut it and place your pipe in, you need a site contractor, and then again a structure engineer to be there and give you specific location you need to cut, so that you may not mistakenly cut one iron rod on that property. And mind you, one iron rod can hold a multiple load in the property, because I'm an electrical engineer. I know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not a structure engineer, but I know a structure engineer. I've worked with a structure engineer. So when it comes to iron rod, one iron rod or two iron rod can hold a multiple load on your property. One iron rod can lead it. When the electrician cut one iron rod on your property, it may lead with multiple rods. All right. So as you can see, we got two distribution board right there. Two distribution board. The one for the 110 and another one is for the 220. Yeah, we have the transformer mounted on the top of both the distribution board. You're going to mount the transformer on top of both distribution board. Yeah, like you can see, we have the 110, and then we got 220, and then we have the 110. Yeah, let me get close. 220, and then here too, we just got the TV access. We got the 110, and then we got the 220. Yeah, that is the GH. That is the GH. So the first bedroom, you can see we have also cut the floor nicely. Everything is flowing nicely. Like I told you, cutting your floor you need to consult your structure engineer to give them a specification lane to cut and place all the pipes work. Don't leave it for your electrician. They may cut one iron rod, they will not tell anybody, they will seal it, and then you are going to face the consequence later. So like you said, we got 110 and 220 right here. We got 110 and 220. We got the antennas right here too. I told you this building is going to go off grade. So everything that we are doing here, we are making sure. So the best side too, we have 110 and 220. And then we have your air condition on your bedside. Like I told you, GH make you comfortability on your own home. Your each bedside, you got your 110 and 220. Let's go to the washroom. Washroom too, we got 110 and 220 on your washroom for your shaving, on your sink area. That is GH. That is GH. We should not go to the kitchen. Let's go to the protection, because you see, in my electrical wiring, I'll always talk about the protection. Because if you finish the electrical wiring and you haven't protect the investment, which again that you're going to protect. A lot of people have electrical engineer in their investment. They end up losing the entire investment. So talk about the protection is my priority in the building. It's one of my priority in the building. If you may have issue with me in your side, you may have issue with me in the earthing system. Yeah, because I don't joke with that. In case of the protection, I don't joke with that. Yeah, because everything I did for you, this is what is going to make sure that they work efficiency and they have a protection as well. And whoever live in the property have a 100% guarantee that they are not going to have any electric shock in this property. Is because of this. It's because of this earthing system. And before doing the earthing system, first we need to know the soil, whether the resistance is high or whether resistance is low. And then mind you, this soil, the resistance was high. So that is why we have numbers of the Checo right there, just to maintain the resistance to be a bit low for us. But GH, I'll always do the right thing at the right time. Even when the resistance is high, we invest on multiple earth rod. We have over 8 different earth rod, erected them on the soil. And then we also strip off 16 square meter and we multiply it. This is one earth rod. Mind you, we got another one earth rod right here. We also have another earth rod right here. And then we got one earth rod right there. Yeah, one earth rod right there. And then the main earth rod, this one that we are going to maintain it for periodically testing. Yeah, this one we're going to maintain it for periodically testing. So we are going to do a chamber around here and then we maintain it. You can see pipe, we run 3 different cable, which is a 16 square meter. 3 different cable. You can see them on the soil. That is why 3 pipe are being run from the meter room, because we don't joke with this investment. Like I told you, if you want somebody to protect your investment you're working on, you got GH. You got GH. All right, so you can see all the 18 system from each apartment have been assembly to this. Yeah, all the 18 system, each apartment, 5 different apartment, we have assembly, and you are going to connect them all to this earth bar. Yeah, you can see pipe going outside to serve our earthing system. Yeah, it's going to the outside to serve our earthing system. Each apartment should have their own independent changeover that you're going to change it to your off grade. Yeah, if you happen to have a grade ECG right here too, you're going to have off grade at the same time. You're going to have the ECG as well. Yeah. So each apartment have their own independent changeover. So that is the client idea. Like I told you, we also have one distribution board right here, which is going to help us to save everything in the compound, the lighting in the compound, the swimming pool is coming on, automated gate, a few things that is going to run on the compound. This distribution board is going to help us to solve all the solutions, because it's apartment. We cannot run a compound lighting into any apartment for the person to use it. Nah, it's not working that way. So we need to have. So like I told you earlier on, here is going to be maintained. We're going to have a chamber right there, and then we're going to maintain the earth. Yeah, we are going to maintain this earth. Yeah, you can see how the earthing have been connected. Very pretty, very pretty. And then we wanted to make sure that we are working on its own effectiveness. Yeah, that is why we have connected it like that though. So what we are going to do, what we did, we got the numbers that we're supposed to have, so we are going to maintain it. So that is why you can see the charcoal powder have to be pouring on the floor just to maintain the earth. Yeah, because the soil is so high. So to maintain it, we need to put the charcoal, so that the charcoal can help us for the moisture, and then also help us to maintain a little bit of water in the ground, to help the earthing more effective for us. Like I told you, GH. So that is what my guys are going to do right here. We are going to maintain the earthing, so we need to have the charcoal aligned. All the place that we dig, we need to put the charcoal there to maintain the earth effectiveness for our electrical wiring. So what my guys are doing to put the charcoals on where we dig all the way to the end. That is what they are doing right there, to maintain the earthing system for our electrical wiring. All right, so that is what my guys are doing over there. I'm making sure that we cut the charcoal, put them there to maintain our earthing system, because the soil is the resistance is too high. To maintain it and have a form of low resistance, we need to also put a little bit charcoal. People can decide just to put a normal chemical to also maintain the low resistance of the earth. So that is what we are doing. Put it in everywhere else before we can put the sun back again, and maintain one area for the periodically checked. Guys, I know this is quite useful for you guys. Like, subscribe, hit notification bell, so that you always be aware when GH uploading the new video. You don't miss out. Guys, I will see you next time. Guys, yebeshia.
When it comes to electrical works for your house and professional plumbing you can trust, there's only one name to remember: GH Electrical Engineer. Hey, we do house wiring, conduits and trunking, socket switches, lighting, fault fixing and maintenance. Plumbing works for homes and buildings. Call 0542902016.
I repeat, 054299260. GH Electrical Engineer. Clean work, safe power, strong plumbing.